I may not be the first person to say this, but I shall repeat it nonetheless. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is, has always been, and always will be, that girl.
You're dead.
I may be dead, but I'm still pretty. Which is more than I can say for you.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of those shows that you have definitely heard of in passing, but you've probably not bothered checking out. Maybe you think it's too dated as a show from the 90s and early 2000s to hold your attention. Maybe you're worried the effects won't hold up, or the lingo will kill you via death by cringe.
The girl must have doubled back with Jesse after I got out. God, I'm so mentally challenged.
Oh, that's no. In the sense that, no. You know what I mean?
Or maybe you think it's just overhyped. Well, as somebody who did not grow up with Buffy, but was introduced to it over the last couple years watching it week to week with one of my friends, I am here to tell you, it indeed lives up to the legends. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is exactly what it sounds like. High school girl named Buffy is a chosen one, the Slayer, and is tasked with eliminating malevolent supernatural forces preying upon humans.
Get away from my sister.
Hey, we were just talking about you.
Conversation's over, hell bitch.
K-pop demon hunter's mother and predecessor, who reserves her musical numbers to just one episode but is just as cunty nonetheless. I would be shocked if Buffy was not a Belmont. Buffy's popularity had a ripple effect on paranormal dramas as a whole, through its structure of overarching season-long stories carried by episodic plots, its use of supernatural elements as metaphors for real-world issues, and its insufferable self-aware humor that you're probably sick of by now.
Okay. Look, if you're gonna be popping up with this cryptic wise man act on a regular basis, can you at least tell me your name?
Yeah, the ironic bathos-type humor that everybody hates about the MCU.
I'm bringing the party to you.
I don't see how that's a party.
It started with Buffy, hence why this humor is often referred to as Whedonisms, named for Buffy's creator and unemployable menace, Joss Whedon. Despite Whedon's fall from grace and the irony poisoning that we're all sick of, Buffy actually pulls it off, dare I say? So why is that? Why is Buffy so well regarded, and is it really worth checking out? Today we're going to dive into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, what makes it a classic, and why it manages to stand the test of time. Before we begin, ciao! My name's Thomas, aka the Unicorn of War, and I make videos about whatever media is rotting my brain at the moment, which happens to be our favorite Slayer. If you enjoy what you find here, then be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications because YouTube hates creators. Also, if you're willing and able, please consider pledging your support for myself and the channel over on Patreon. You get early access scripts and videos, Patreon exclusive content, and access to the private Union of War Discord server. Now, without further ado, let the chaos commence. Our story is set in Sunnydale, your average suburban hellscape. And no, that is not hyperbole, since Sunnydale is conveniently located over a hellmouth, a nexus of supernatural forces drawing in malevolent creatures like vampires, demons, man-eating praying mantises, hell gods, the works. To counter these forces, a young girl is chosen as the Slayer.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
She is given superhuman strength, enhanced reflexes, and accelerated healing abilities, and is assigned a watcher from a council of annoying English librarians to exploit, give her guidance. If you're wondering how one Slayer is meant to deal with all the supernatural evils of the world, she's not. In fact, Slayers aren't expected to live very long. They're usually expected to die bloody, horrible deaths before they hit 18. Enter Buffy Summers, the current Slayer who was recently moved from LA to Sunnydale after being expelled for burning down her old school's gymnasium.
I mean, that gym was full of asbestos.
Accompanying Buffy are her two besties, Willow, a shy little awkward nerd who goes on to be a badass witch and sapphic icon.
But aren't you hanging out with Cordelia?
I can't do both.
Not legally.
And Xander, who... Yeah, I'm just gonna point to Cosmonaut Valley's video on him before I go on a rant. Willow's great.
Xander, I'm sorry. I just don't think of you that way.
I'll try. I'll wait. Forget it. I'm not him. I guess the guy's gotta be undead to make time with you.
That's really harsh.
We also have Giles, the school librarian and Buffy's assigned watcher, Whomst is definitely not on my husband list. Definitely not.
Maybe you could blow something up. They're really strict about that.
I was thinking of a more subtle approach, like excessive not studying.
The Earth is doomed.
Look, he's smart, he's dependable, he's adorable, and I enjoy it when he does war crimes, okay?
She's not like us. Us.
Also, look at him dressed like a wizard. How can you not love this? And naturally, we have a vampire love interest because that's just mandatory when you do a vampire story. Angel is special though, because he's a vampire who still has his soul, and as such has retained his conscience.
The elders conjured the perfect punishment for me. They restored my soul.
He helps Buffy in her efforts against the evil forces in Sunnydale. We love a good noodle with a broody affect. At least until he loses his soul again, then we flee the hemisphere.
I got a message for Buffy.
Why don't you give it to me yourself?
Well, it's not really the kind of message you tell. It sort of involves finding the bodies of all your friends.
Though Buffy technically has to hide her status as Slayer, the people of Sunnydale aren't exactly unaware of all the weird shit going on. In fact, vampires and other monsters regularly run around in the open, boldly attacking people in nightclubs and even at schools. They usually just rationalize it all away after the fact, which honestly feels super refreshing and real as fuck.
Well, I heard it was rival gangs, fighting for turf, but all I can tell you is they were in the ugly way of looking.
Like, look at all the crazy shit going on out here in the real world and how many of us hand wave it away so that we can go back to our own little bubbles. I don't know, I got bills to pay. I can't also be having mental breakdowns about vampires. Wait, what does the housing market look like for vampires? Maybe I should reconsider. There is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, which to my understanding acts as a standalone pilot, but it is not connected to the show story-wise and does not star Sarah Michelle Gellar, so I don't care. The show is 7 seasons long, with the first 3 being set in high school and the other 4 following Buffy as she is tortured by early adulthood and ages 20 years in less than a quarter of that time. And you know what? There is no bad season of Buffy. Shameless plug for my ranking Buffy seasons video is proof. Season 1 is a bit rough around the edges, but right off the bat, the show wastes no time using these supernatural forces to explore how much being alive kinda sucks, getting more real as it goes on and matures alongside its audience. Personally, I'm more partial to the later seasons because they focus on more adult issues like loss, depression, sexuality, addiction, the 4 horsemen, but the high school seasons still have plenty to offer, both in heartache and in good old-fashioned camp. Fiction allows us to explore messy, real-world issues in a fun, palatable way, especially when it comes to supernatural elements. Vampires alone can be used as metaphors for resource hoarding, class division, queerness, marginalization, you name it. And they're handy for both societal and interpersonal issues. Buffy understood this from jump, using classic horror movie monsters and tropes, and subverting expectations in service of whatever theme the episode's trying to explore. For instance, episode 3, Witch. Buffy tries out for the cheerleading squad and is magically sabotaged by fellow cheerleader Amy, who turns out to be a witch. A vivitch, you might say.
You think I threw the baby in the woods, bitch? It was taken by a vivitch.
Amy seems to be terrorizing her mother, who herself used to be a cheerleader who peaked in high school.
Another productive day in front of the TV. I got a history report due tomorrow. Write it.
Except, surprise, Amy's mother is also a vivitch, and actually switched bodies with her in order to relive her youth.
She's out of her mind. Ever since her dad left, I can't control her.
You're afraid of her.
Amy? She switched your bodies, didn't she? She wanted to relive her glory days.
She said I was wasting my youth, so she took it.
Narcissistic parents who view their kids as extensions of themselves? Yeah, this is that if they had access to a spell book, and it eats.
You little brat. How dare you raise your hand to your mother? I gave you birth. I gave up my life so you could drag that worthless carcass around and call it living.
And ultimately, Amy's mom is trapped for eternity in a little golden statue, quite literally imprisoned within the symbol of the accolades she cared more about than her own daughter. Pop off, queen. We also have Gingerbread in Season 3, a throwback to the good old satanic panic core.
For too long, we've been plagued by unnatural evils. This isn't our town anymore. It belongs to the monsters and the witches and the slayers. I say it's time for the grown-ups to take Sunnydale back.
Buffy's mother, Joyce, who learned about her being a slayer a season ago,
I mean, have you tried not being a slayer?
Mom.
becomes distraught after a couple children are killed by a vampire. She attempts to band the community together to protect their kids from the supernatural forces that they don't understand, since she doesn't believe that Buffy can handle this.
I'm so sorry that you had to see this. But I promise everything's gonna be okay.
How?
Because I'm gonna find whatever did it.
I guess. It's just you can't. You can't make it right.
Which ultimately results in the adults surveilling the children at all times, burning most of the books in the library deemed inappropriate.
If we're gonna solve this, we need those books now.
Sweetie, those books have no place in a public school library, especially now. Any student can waltz in there and get all sorts of ideas. Do you understand how that terrifies me?
And restricting their children's freedoms. Naturally, the children killed by the vampire are actually demons who thrive off the paranoia of the adults in a given community, and ultimately drive the parents to trying to burn their kids at the stake when they deem their children are too far gone to save.
Mom, you don't want this.
Since when does it matter what I want? I wanted a normal, happy daughter. Instead, I got a slayer.
Mom, look at me. You love me. You're not gonna be able to live with yourself if you do this.
You earned this. You toyed with unnatural forces. What kind of a mother would I be if I didn't punish you?
Yeah, this one's gonna hit for all the queer kids in the audience who've experienced shit like this. I mean, hopefully not the literal burning at the stake, but, emotionally it's close. Vampires in Buffy generally tend towards evil 95% of the time. Ordinarily, I'm not a fan of an entire group being automatically slotted into a moral category like this. I tend to find it very oversimplistic and boring and also potentially, fucked up. But in Buffy's case, it works thanks to the way that their vampires function thematically. Vampires are essentially demonic versions of who they used to be, having lost their souls when they were turned. Without the soul, they may retain their personalities and memories, but they lose their ability to empathize and care for others.
When you become a vampire, the demon takes your body, but it doesn't get your soul. That's gone. No conscience, no remorse. It's an easy way to live. You have no idea what it's like to have done the things I've done. And to care. I haven't fed on a living human being since that day.
They may care for their immediate vampiric circle, but they essentially lose their capacity for connection and community. For instance, Xander and Willow's friend Jimmy is turned into a vampire in the 2-part series premiere.
What do we do?
I got an idea. You can die.
Xander is still hopeful to save him or appeal to his humanity, but Giles asserts that the Jimmy that he knew is long gone.
We've got to get in there before Jesse does something stupider than usual.
You listen to me. Jesse is dead. When you see him, you're not looking at your friend. You're looking at the thing that killed him.
Jimmy no longer sees his friends as fellow people who deserve kindness. He sees them as... How did Spike put it again?
Billions of people walking around like Happy Meals with legs.
Spike does show some capacity to grow beyond this in later seasons. He begins as a ruthless, cruel antagonist who only cares for himself and his lover, Drusilla, and is shown to be vindictive and petty when Drusilla breaks up with him.
She wouldn't even kill me. She just left. She didn't even care enough to cut off my head or set me on fire. I mean, is that too much to ask?
In season 4, Spike is caught by a government militia called the Initiative. Don't ask, just go with it. They put a microchip in his brain, which prevents him from hurting humans.
It's me, isn't it? I know I'm not the kind of girl vamps like to sink their teeth into. It's always like, ooh, you're like a sister to me, or, oh, you're such a good friend.
Don't be ridiculous. I'd bite you in a heartbeat.
Really?
Which essentially forces him to sometimes align himself with Buffy and her crew, lovingly called the Scooby Gang or the Scoobies. He eventually falls hopelessly in love with Buffy, but in the obsession kind of way where he more wants to possess her and enjoy passionate moments with her, more than actually respecting what she stands for. This does gradually evolve into him wanting to protect and be kind to Buffy's mom and sister, not only because he wants to win Buffy's approval, but because he does actually kind of take a liking to them.
Why did you let that glory hurt you?
She wanted to know who the key was.
Oh, well, I can tell her, and then you won't have
No! You can't ever. Glory never finds out. Buffy, anything happened to Dawn, you'd destroy her. Couldn't live for being in that much pain. Let Glory kill me first.
Seriously, Spike's big brother energy with Dawn is so cute.
You want to come steal some stuff?
Yeah, all right.
And his friendship with Joyce is one of my favorite things ever.
Don't make a lot of noise. Passions is coming on.
Passions? Oh, do you think Timmy's really dead?
Oh, no. She can just sew him back together. He's a doll, for God's sake.
What about the wedding? I mean, there's no way they're going to go through with that.
Still, Spike's lack of soul does seem to prevent him from fully becoming a non-shitbag, as evidenced by the assault attempt in Seeing Red that I hate very, very much and was not at all necessary. Why was that there?
Ask me again why I could never love you.
Buffy, my God, I didn't...
Because I stopped you.
Spike does endure horrific torment to get his soul back, which winds up breaking him mentally in the final season as the guilt of all he's done crashes through all at once. Spike is a very interesting case in what makes a character a good or a bad person, or how we can even classify them as such. What actions can truly help someone atone for what they have done, and how do the motivations behind those actions shape the way that they come across? So, you may be wondering how the Slayer came to be, and why does it always seem they wind up suffering and dying young? The answer is because a bunch of old white dudes decided that was the best way to keep the Slayer under their thumb. In the final season, it is revealed that the Slayer was forcibly created by several older men who crammed a bunch of dark, demonic magic? What? Magic? Into a young woman to give her Slayer strength.
Nguvu yako iko hapa. Ni nguvu ya shetani. Roho ya shetani. Kweli ni moyo.
This is how you
Itengeneza muuaji huyu, ndio.
And now, in the present, the Slayer is at the mercy of these Watchers, who form a powerful council that has so much power, they are able to deport and even assassinate rogue Watchers who are too pro-Slayer for their tastes on a whim.
Can they really do the stuff they threatened? Kick you out of the country?
In a heartbeat. See, the rough stuff, they're all right out there. A bit ham-handed, but they get it done. But this stuff, the bureaucracy, the pulling of political strings, they're the best in the world. They can kill you with a stroke of a pen. Pontius.
The fact that they're based in England, the original empire that fucked up the rest of the world, telling. While given guidance by her Watcher, the Slayer is tasked with the actual danger of fighting off these supernatural forces, and doesn't seem to be mourned or missed if she is killed in action. And she goes unsupported in her actual life, where she is expected to keep her Slayer duties both secret and her top priority. And because Slayers are expected to die young, when they become adults, they're not given any kind of monetary support by the council. Their Watchers are, but Slayers are expected to fend for themselves, assuming they get there. Like Buffy in season 6, being forced to get a shitty minimum wage fast food job to support herself and her younger sister, and to keep CPS from taking her sister away. The council also has a ritual where, at a certain point, they force the Slayer's Watcher to hypnotize her and strip her of her powers, leaving her as helpless as any ordinary human. They then sick a vampire on her, justifying it as seeing if the Slayer is worthy of the title without her abilities.
You bastard. All this time you saw what it was doing to me. All this time and you didn't say a word.
I wanted to.
Liar.
In matters of tradition and protocol, I must answer to the council.
Who are you? How could you do this to me?
I am deeply sorry, Buffy, and you have to understand.
If you touch me, I'll kill you.
Whatever I have to do to deal with Kralik and to win back your trust.
You stuck a needle in me. You poisoned me.
Really, I think this is the council's way of not only reminding the current Slayer who is in charge through terrorizing her, but also eliminating her if she gets on their bad side. Buffy had already shown defiance towards the council, and eventually refuses to follow their orders at all.
I don't think I'm going to be taking any more orders. Wesley, go back to your council and tell them until the next Slayer comes along, they can close up shop. I'm not working for them anymore.
This is mutiny.
I like to think of it as graduation.
So it wouldn't strike me as odd if the council was low-key hoping that the vampire would kill her. Eventually, Buffy and Giles having defected from the council and opening up a magic shop, are forced to ask the council for help with a powerful new foe that they know nothing about. The council forcibly shuts down the magic shop and threatens to deport Giles if they refuse to go along with whatever they want, and then put Buffy through strenuous tests to belittle and discourage her into obeying.
Not having you put her through another one of your insane tests.
It's not a test. It's a check of her methods.
This culminates in Buffy realizing she has all the power, standing up to the council. After all, just as the heads of Fortune 500 companies would be nothing without the labor who create the actual value behind their fortunes, the council is nothing but a bunch of useless librarian assholes without the Slayer, who, actually goes out and protects people.
You guys didn't come all the way from England to determine whether or not I was good enough to be let back in. You came to beg me to let you back in. To give your jobs, your lives, some semblance of meaning.
This is beyond insolence.
I'm fairly certain I said no interruptions.
In the series finale, the antagonists attempt to eradicate the Slayer by eliminating all potentials who would inherit her power if Buffy, as well as the second Slayer Faith, don't ask, were to die. Buffy then decides to use magic to fuck with the Slayer system, allowing all potentials to wield Slayer abilities at once.
I say my power should be our power. Every girl in the world who might be a Slayer will be a Slayer. Every girl who could have the power will have the power. Can stand up, will stand up. Slayers. Every one of us. Make your choice. Are you ready to be strong?
This allows herself and her little army of potentials to actually fight back against an army of dollar store Nosferatus. Nosferatai. And also means it's not just on Buffy to keep the world safe anymore. And after all the literal hell and heaven she's been through, I cannot imagine what a relief that must feel like. Initially, Willow, our resident nerd and master of Google Foo, is in charge of researching local supernatural phenomena.
I think the program's done.
Finally, the nightmare ends. Okay, so how do we save it?
Deliver.
Deliver? Where's that? Oh.
As the show continues, she dabbles in magic, eventually becoming a powerful witch. In this show, anybody can learn magic. It's not restricted to a specific type of person or lineage. Willow begins magical stuff as early as season 2, but fully dives in when she meets her new love interest Tara in season 4, who also helps Willow in discovering her sexuality. Since this is in the late 90s and early 2000s, it was a rarity to see this kind of representation on screen for protagonists in a mainstream show, but that also came with a very limited understanding of queerness.
Xander's my best friend.
Oh, and you don't want anyone else to have him. I know what broke up him and Cordelia, It was you. And your lips.
No, it was not. Well, yes, it was so, but that was a long time ago. Do you think I'd do that again?
Why not?
Well, hello, gay now.
There's still debates on whether Willow is gay or bisexual, but regardless, we all stand a sapphic queen. This does track, though, with how witchcraft carries its own kind of queer coding. Women or femmes who are deemed as inherently wicked and deviant by society, even if they are simply trying to just be themselves and not disrupt anything, and find small accepting communities that embrace them as they are. This is compounded when Tara's family tries to come to get her and forcibly take her home.
Toys. You don't even try to hide it anymore. I'd hoped maybe you'd gotten over the whole witchcraft thing. That if we let you go, you'd get it out of your system.
So, you all witches, or... Hey, don't do a spell on me now.
I just wanted to see if everything was okay. See if you needed any help with anything. Packing.
I'm not coming back with you.
You selfish bitch.
What?
You don't care the slightest bitty bit about your family, do you? There's a house that needs taking care of. Donnie and your dad having to do for themselves while you're down here living God knows what kind of lifestyle.
Tara's late mother was a witch and was convinced that she was in truth a demon. This is repeated with Tara, as a way for the men to control the women by convincing them of their inherent evil and selfishness so they will remain subservient.
There's no demon in there. It's just a family legend, am I right? Just a bit of spin to keep the ladies in line. You're a piece of work. I like you.
Again, the evangelical homophobia is strong with these ones.
You people
have no right to interfere with Tara's affairs. We are her blood kin. Who the hell are you?
We're family.
The metaphor gets kind of muddy when we get to season 6, where Willow's increasing reliance on magic winds up undermining her relationship with Tara. I'm on board with this until it becomes a one-to-one magic is drugs metaphor. Like, don't get me wrong, I see the vision, but it feels odd for the witchcraft metaphor to just suddenly switch after all this time. And it's like ridiculous how comically on the nose this shit is. Like, oh god, it takes me out.
Who's your supplier?
Especially because you could focus more on Willow's control issues through her magic. Maybe instead reframe it as a focus on a certain subsection of, I don't know, white gays who are hyper-individualistic and are resentful of the communal aspect of queerness, especially towards certain other letters in the acronym. The addiction angle just seems largely unnecessary and confused, especially because getting clean now also feels like suppressing your queerness, which is odd as Willow gets back with Tara briefly, and it's like, so Tara can still do magic, but not Willow? And then it gets even messier with Tara's fate. Oh, good lord. Now, part of Buffy's influence is sadly Whedonisms. What the fuck is a Whedonism, I hear you ask?
What the hell is a Whedon fruit?
Well, named for the show's creator, the terrible, no-good douchebag creator, Joss Whedon, a Whedonism refers to a brand of self-aware, quippy humor often found in his writing. Those ironic, self-aware jokes everybody hates in the Marvel movies, where we lampshade our bad writing choices or we verbally acknowledge tropes to make the audience feel smart. Yeah, those are Whedonisms. Now, Xander is very much guilty of feeling this way. I'm not a big fan of Xander, if you couldn't tell. I don't feel like fully unpacking that because I want to discuss why I love the show, so I'm just gonna point again to Cosmonaut Valley's video on him. To summarize, Xander is Joss Whedon's admitted self-insert character, and you can tell.
You think I want to go to the dance with you and watch you wish you were at the dance with her? You should know better.
I didn't think.
I'm sorry it didn't work out for you.
I'm like, oh good, Proto-Jean arc. That's wonderful. I mean, at least Xander is a character. I can say that much about him. And Xander has a few redeeming moments here and there.
Kara, if you don't get in that car, I swear by God, I will beat you down.
And I swear by your full and manly beard, you're gonna break something trying.
He just annoys me more often than he doesn't. Xander feels like MCU humor came to life in a form. Xander feels like MCU humor incarnated in the form of annoying local nice guy who shouldn't be allowed any one-wish Willow.
He's missing.
Well, let me think. The cheerleaders were modeling their new short skirts. I kind of got... Yeah, they said missing.
Yeah, insert Willow joke here. But thankfully, that's limited to him, because the show itself and the other characters have different senses of humor and actually are funny.
Metal can't hurt me.
There's something you forgot about too. Sunrise. It's in about 9 hours, moron.
So funny, I wind up cackling like a hyena, actually. I don't then start eating principals of schools. For Buffy, Whedonisms are part of her appeal. From jump, Buffy was conceived as a subversion of classic horror tropes. The dumb blonde about to be killed by the monster in a dark alley, except the blonde reveals herself to be a badass action hero who skins the monster and hangs its horns over her mantle as a trophy. So her quips serve as an extension of that confidence. They give the idea that she is not taking this very seriously because she knows she's gonna fucking win. In truth, it's actually a coping mechanism, as we see Buffy struggle with being a slayer and come undone more and more as the show progresses.
But I knew. I was right. I don't have that anymore. I don't understand. I don't know how to live in this world, if these are the choices.
Using comedy to mask how much you wish you were dead? Now there is something my spiritually millennial self can relate to. You also have Cordelia, one of my favorite mean girls who has the best one-liners.
I have to have the most expensive thing. Not because it's expensive, but because it costs more. What is your childhood trauma? How many times have you been knocked out anyway? I swear, one of these times you're gonna wake up in a coma.
Wake up in a... Oh, never mind.
And Anya, a former vengeance demon, who definitely has the tism, and I love her lack of filter and deep hatred of bunnies.
Calm down and we'll go about fixing this in a sensible fashion.
Sensible?
You think it's sensible for me to go down into that pit of cotton top hell and let them hippity hop all over my vulnerable flesh?
And for an example of an episode with mastery over comedy, Tabula Rasa from season 6. Ironically, this is from the season that people write off as overly depressing. And admittedly, this one is sad, but that also makes how hilarious it is deeply iconic.
You Englishmen are always so... bloody hell. Sodding, blimey, shagging, knickers, bollocks. Oh, God. I'm English.
Welcome to the Nancy tribe.
TLDR, Willow tries to use a memory wiping spell to make her girlfriend Tara forgive her for using a memory wiping spell on her.
I didn't mean to. To what? Violate my mind like that? How could you, Willow? How could you after what Glory did to me?
Great idea, Willow. Inadvertently erasing the memories of the entire Scooby Gang. So now Willow and Xander, or Alex, think they're dating. Giles and Anya, or Anya, think they're engaged.
What did I do? There's always something. And what's with the trollop?
Hey.
Huh? I saw you sleeping together.
Resting together.
Look, it's okay. We're engaged.
Oh.
Spike thinks he's a normal human named Randy, and the son of Giles, on account of the British thing.
Son, come here, please. Right, good then.
And Buffy names herself Joan.
I think I can name myself. I'll name me Joan. Did you just my name?
Insert girlfriend's joke here.
I give you. Operation Does She Yield? Yes.
Xander.
I don't get it.
During this, the group is also being pursued by vampires who are after Spike at the behest of a loan shark.
Stay away from Randy!
Who do those jerks think they are?
Bloodsuckers that kill by sucking blood. Take it easy, Joe.
No, literally, he's a demon with a shark head, and the debt involves gambling over which demon gets to eat kittens. I cannot tell you how close this episode gets me to suffocation with how badly it makes me cackle. The crew is all in on their new assumed identities, even though Willow is feeling very gay.
Trapped. No memory. Hiding in a pipe from a vampire. And I think I'm kind of gay.
Giles thinks he's trying to divorce and leave Anya.
And I feel compelled to take some vengeance on you.
Oh, no wonder I'm leaving you.
What?
And Joan is kind of unimpressed with Randy's whole vampire with a soul thing.
A vampire with a soul? Oh my god, how lame is that?
Now, when it comes to the high school versus college halves of the show, I tend to prefer the college years, specifically seasons 5 and 6. Maybe it's just because I've been burned by animated shows trying desperately to keep their cast eternally 16, but I really appreciate that we get to see Buffy's cast grow up. Growing up allows the characters to change and experience life changes that naturally allow for new storylines, and can also speak to the audience aging alongside the show, or even just to new audiences who maybe weren't interested in the earlier seasons. And though they weren't planned to go together, with season 5 being thought to be the series finale at the time, it is still really impressive how perfectly they slot together. Season 5 is all about how much being human fucking blows.
Dawn, the hardest thing in this world is to live in it.
Suffering, loss, and trying to keep going and living despite it all. And season 6 continues that through its explorations of depression, apathy, and indirect self-harm. Season 5 starts us with a happy status quo. Buffy, Willow, and Xander are all in happy relationships, enjoying a day at the beach, only for it to be ruined by a sudden rainstorm. In the episode, this is because Dracula has come to town. Yes, that Dracula.
I'm Dracula.
Get out.
But it low-key serves as the perfect encapsulation of what these characters have in store for them. Buffy's relationship with her then-boyfriend Riley degrades very quickly, with Riley feeling emasculated by Buffy's strength and independence.
You sure this isn't just your way of trying to make me feel less, what are the words, cute and weak and kittenish?
Kitteny.
And Buffy refusing to lean on Riley for vulnerability for the sake of appearing strong for her family as her mother's health deteriorates.
It's okay. Just let it out.
I can't. Not now. They need me. If I start now, I won't be able to stop.
Riley even winds up having flings with vampires, letting them suck his blood without killing him.
Tell me about your whores.
Just so he can feel something. It's a lot. It's a lot. Why are we having like middle-aged marriage woes? We're not even 20. We're barely 20, if any. What? When confronted, Riley gives Buffy an ultimatum. Let him leave for good to join a military task force dealing with supernatural threats in other parts of the world, just go with it, or ask him to stay because she really does love him.
I'm leaving, Buffy, unless you give me a reason to stay.
Buffy winds up missing her chance, and Riley leaves, at which point I pop a bottle of champagne because what? But I think it's important to drive home how, despite how accurately Buffy reading Riley for filth is,
You can't handle the fact that I'm stronger than you.
It's hard sometimes, yeah.
that this does signal the beginning of Buffy losing her major pillars of support, thus unraveling her. Her mother, Joyce, meanwhile, has been suffering from chronic headaches, which Buffy initially suspects as being supernatural in origin. In truth, they're from a brain tumor.
Your mother has, the term is low-grade glioma. It's a brain tumor.
So now Buffy has to take care of her mother through her treatments, watching her mother slowly come undone, while also taking care of her little sister and trying to emotionally protect her. Joyce does get the tumor removed, so everything seems fine now. She even goes on a date that her daughters give her advice on so that she doesn't embarrass herself.
Buffy, what do you think? Should I, try to make things romantic or sort of let him set the pace?
Oh no. Love Dr. Buffy is not in. I am not qualified to give dating advice. I've had exactly 2 boyfriends, and they both left. Really left. Left town, left.
Buffy then comes home from one of her usual misadventures involving a sex robot, don't ask, only to find Joyce unconscious on the couch.
You want me to pick Dawn up from school? Mom? What are you doing? Mom? Mom? Mommy?
The entire episode, The Body, follows the immediate whirlwind as Buffy and the cast are shocked by Joyce's sudden death. Buffy specifically blames herself, even as she is told that this could not have been prevented, even if she had been in her mother's side.
Are you sure that there wasn't a lot of pain?
Absolutely. I have to lie to make you feel better.
Joyce wasn't always the best mom, but she loved Buffy deeply. And though she did struggle learning Buffy was the Slayer, she did come around and come to be an incredibly important pillar of support.
You're thinking you'll never get away with this. Warm?
Actually, I was thinking my daughter is going to kill you soon.
So now this leaves Buffy as the guardian of her little sister and essentially set adrift. She still has Giles as a watcher and father figure, but that's not the same as the woman who has been with Buffy her whole life to love and care for her. And while all this is going on, Buffy also has to reckon with the fact that she has a little sister, Dawn, that she's known all of her life, even though she literally did not exist before this season. See, Dawn isn't an ordinary girl. And no, she's not from the deep blue underworld. It's actually a deep green underworld. Dawn used to be a magical object called the Key, which had the power to open portals between dimensions. The Key was wielded by a powerful hell god named Glory, who was banished to Earth in human form by her fellow hell gods because she had better hair than them.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you.
She wants to use the Key to get back to her dimension, but that would break down the barriers between all dimensions, essentially turning all of existence into a nightmarish melting pot of eternal pain and suffering. And so the Key was taken by an order of monks who disguised it in human form as Dawn.
My memories. My mom's.
We built them.
I didn't ask for this. What is she?
Human and helpless. She's an innocent. She needs you.
Dawn has no memory of being the Key because all of her memories were artificially created by the monks. Same for Buffy, same for Joyce, and same for everybody in their social circles who would have met Dawn had she always existed.
How can she not be real? She's real, she's just kind of new.
The monks did this not only to hide the Key, but also because they knew if it was the Slayer's little sister, she would do whatever it takes to keep her from falling into Glory's hands. Buffy and Joyce each have their own moments of discovering the truth. Buffy is initially suspicious, believing Dawn to be dangerous and the one causing Joyce's health problems. But after realizing Dawn truly is innocent, Buffy apologizes for her outburst, comforting Dawn, because even if this relation was not organic, they're both still enduring the situation with sincere, genuine emotion. They are sisters.
You can't even take an apology. You always do that ever since...
And Joyce's moment brings me to tears every time. She figures out the truth partially because her condition allows her to see past the illusion. But she still loves Dawn and recognizes her importance, and wants to ensure that she's safe, that she knows that she's part of the Summers family, and she is loved and she belongs.
That Dawn, she's not mine, is she?
No.
She does belong to us, though.
Yes, she does.
And she's important to the world, precious. As precious as you are to me. Then we have to take care of her.
Dawn, of course, freaks out and has the classic existential crisis when she learns the truth.
This is blood, isn't it? It can't be me. I'm not a key. I'm not a thing.
Oh, sweetie, no.
What am I? Am I real? Am I anything?
And this feels in line with the average teenage experience of, is any of this for real or not?
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?
Kingdom Hearts trained me well for this storyline. But even being this all-important legendary key, Dawn is still her usual bratty, witty, desperate for love self. The mentioning of blood as what gives life and what makes humans human, I think is a lovely touch.
It's Summer's blood. It's just like mine. It doesn't matter where you came from or how you got here. You are my sister. There's no way you could annoy me so much if you weren't.
It's what signifies Dawn being a real, living, feeling person. Vital, but also kind of gross. At least if you ask Glory.
I'm not talking about this room or this city or the state or this planet. I'm talking about the whole mortal coil now, you know? It's disgusting.
See, Glory is my favorite villain in the show, not only because she is Regina George with the strength of 100 Supermen.
Just noticed something. You have superpowers. That is so cool. Can you fly?
And not only because she's a hilarious diva, but also because she is thematically perfect for this storyline. As a god, she'd never had to worry about the whole mortality, physical body thing. She had no need for connection, emotion, or any of that bullshit, because those things are the byproduct of having a fragile little meat sack for a physical form that is wired to make you care about those things until it eventually fails and shuts down and dies.
How do they do it? People. How do they function here like this in the world with all this bile running through them? Every day it's woo! You have no control. They're not even animals. They're just these meatbaggy slaves to hormones and pheromones and their feelings. Hate them. Is this what the poets go on about? This? Call me crazy, but as hardcore drugs go, human emotion's just useless. People are puppets. Everyone getting jerked around by what they're feeling. Am I wrong?
But now Glory's not in full control anymore. The human she shares her body with, Ben, just wants a regular, ordinary life, and himself is quite selfish in trying to preserve that at any cost, even when it means betraying Dawn in the finale.
All the blood, I can feel it, still warm and wet. She slaughtered hundreds of men. I can feel them breaking. How could she do this?
But we have to get out of here and find Buffy.
No, I mean, I have a job. I have a life in Glory. She never once thinks about me in all this.
If this season is about the human experience in all its messiness, Glory is a misanthrope who wants out of this shit as soon as possible.
So you're saying some people like this? Some? Funny. Because I look around at this world you're so eager to be a part of, and all I see is 6 billion lunatics looking for the fastest ride out.
And I mean, she did technically get an out. You know, maybe not the one she wanted, but it's an out. In the finale, the portal opens, and the only way to close it is for the blood of the key to no longer flow. At first, we assume this means Dawn must die.
Tell me to kill my sister.
She's not your sister.
But it also means Buffy, since these two share blood. The whole season, Buffy has been told in visions by the first Slayer that death is her gift.
Death is your gift.
Death
is your gift.
Okay, no. Death is not a gift. My mother just died, I know this.
Buffy assumes that this means everyone near her will die, but in truth, it means her sacrificing herself so that the people she loves can live. So she does sacrifice herself. The portal closes, the day is saved, and everyone is distraught.
I love you. I will always love you. This is the work that I have to do. And give my love to my friends. You have to take care of them now. You have to take care of each other. Dawn, the hardest thing in this world is to live in it. Be brave. Live. For me.
That was fine and dandy when they thought the show was over, but then season 6 got ordered and everybody went shit. But the story actually took this in a brilliant direction, having the cast bring Buffy to life when she didn't want to come back. They all assumed Buffy was trapped in some hell dimension on account of, the hell portal, but Buffy reveals to Spike she believes she was actually in heaven.
And I was warm, and I was loved, and I was finished, complete. But I think I was in heaven, and now I'm not. I was torn out of there by my friends.
This is forcibly revealed to everyone else a few episodes later in an iconic musical number that lives rent-free in my head.
I live in hell, 'cause I've been expelled from heaven.
But Buffy has to deal with the fact that she finally thought she was done, that she was free of the suffering of the mortal coil, and no longer had to endure the pain of keeping the world safe and losing everything as the Slayer. Only to not only have to go through all of it all over again when she had experienced blissful peace for 15 minutes, but also having to deal with all the adult problems that the rest of us have to deal with in the real world.
Okay, so you're telling me I'm broke?
Not yet, but money's definitely becoming an issue.
As in you're being almost out of it.
All the money Joyce left for her daughters through her estate basically got devoured by all of the medical bills. American healthcare realness, am I right? So this leaves Buffy having to get some kind of income to keep up with the bills and maintenance around the house, on top of her Slayer duties.
There. All better.
Because remember, the Watchers Council ain't giving her any kind of income to help.
I'll take care of this. Just don't know how yet.
I know how. Start charging.
For what?
Slaying vampires. I mean, you're providing a valuable service to the whole community. I say cash in.
That's an idea. You would have.
And then you get Buffy having to maintain a shitty minimum wage fry cook job to, get a measly slave wage and, not get Dawn taken from her by the government.
Why should I care about any of this?
Because they'll take you away. I can't make you go to school, and I won't be found fit to be your legal guardian.
And meanwhile, Dawn is also skipping school and flunking and shoplifting on account of all the trauma she's endured. Through all of this, Buffy hooks up with Spike, because while she does have some feelings for him, she mostly uses it as a thrill to temporarily forget about the weight of the world, crushing her already shattered will to live.
Last night was the most perverse, degrading experience of my life.
Yeah. Me too.
And also as a low-key self-harm method, because Spike represents everything Buffy hates and fights against, because who boy does she hate herself right now.
I didn't come back wrong.
No, you're the same Buffy, with a deep tropical cellular tan. Buffy, I promise there's nothing wrong with you.
There has to be. This can't be me. It isn't me. Why do I feel like this? Why do I let Spike do those things to me?
You mean hit you? Oh.
Willow and Xander kind of go through some unraveling of their own. Xander proposes to Anya at the end of season 5 because he thinks they're all gonna die, only to wind up leaving Anya at the altar in season 6 because he's terrified and not ready for marriage.
Maybe we just went too fast.
Just calm down and we'll start over, okay?
We can't start over. If this is a mistake, it's forever, and I don't want to hurt you.
Xander does have trauma regarding his abusive alcoholic father informing this.
To my wife, what would I do without you, beautiful? Well, for starters, I probably wouldn't need to drink so much, would I?
And he did really rush into this with Anya, which I get and understand, but also, Xander, you cannot then act like the victim that Anya refuses to understand when she's terrified of the mortality she is now also trapped in and heartbroken.
It's just I'm so excited and I want to share it all with my best friend. I get to be with my best friend forever.
Willow, meanwhile, goes through the aforementioned magical addiction, which results in Tara leaving her after Willow tries to use amnesia magic to make up with her, not once, but twice. Good lord, Willow. They do get back together after Willow has made a significant recovery, only for Tara to die from a rogue gunshot from villain of the season, misogynistic nerd Warren. The loss makes Willow go full dark magic and become Dark Willow.
You boys like magic, don't you? Abracadabra.
Cue the Dark Nella song. And for as many issues as there are with the magical addiction plot, I would argue thematically, it was so worth it for what we got, especially for the Dark Willow finale. I love Dark Willow!
Want to know what a bullet feels like, Warren? It's not going to make a neat little hole. First, it'll obliterate your internal organs. Your lung will collapse, feels like drowning.
Oh, please, stop, God! Please,
I'm
ready.
Bullet usually travels faster than this, of course. The dying seem like it takes forever. One tiny piece of metal destroys everything.
Dark Willow is cruel. She no longer sees any point in living without Tara, and so now is willing to not only throw away her friendships.
If you lose someone you love, the other people in your life who care about you become meaningless. I wonder what Tara would say about that.
You can ask her yourself.
But also to try and kill her friends outright, for fun.
There's so much to live for.
Buffy, you hate it here as much as I do. You're trying to sell me on the world? The one where you lie to your friends when you're not trying to kill them? You screw a vampire just to feel? And insane asylums are the comfy alternative? I know you were happier when you were in the ground. The only time you were ever at peace in your whole life was when you were dead, till Willow brought you back.
It's only through Xander appealing to their bestest friendship from when they were little that Willow breaks down and returns to normal. And of course, this all makes Buffy realize that as much as life does suck, it can also be beautiful.
Life can be beautiful.
And she decides to embrace it with her friends.
I got it so wrong. I don't want to protect you from the world. I want to show it to you.
Season 6 is genuinely so beautiful in this regard, ultimately saying that through all the pain that comes with living, it is all worth it for the joys that come from connection with others who are also suffering on that mortal coil. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a classic for good reason. Despite its flaws, it still manages to hold up as a compelling, heart-wrenching, yet uplifting adventure. One where you get to see these lovable characters and Xander learn how to shoulder all the bullshit that comes with growing up. And for that, it is definitely worth your time. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this from me, then be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications because YouTube hates creators. And again, please consider if you're willing and able pledging your support over on Patreon. I'm the Unicorn of War, and good lord, Buffy's life is a shit show.